Now, for everyone who will be doing this course, I know there are different levels of experience. So I want to start from the most basic stuff, and that's how to hold the endoscope. This is a 0-degree endoscope, okay? And if you hold it, you will see that it has a part where the light source goes, and then this is the camera. I'm holding it on my left hand, and I'm using my index finger to support it. So you see what I'm doing is I'm using the weight on one side of the camera and on the other side where the light source is to keep it in balance. So in this way, you have the minimum effort and the maximum control over the endoscope. So one finger under the camera, and then you can use, but I use the second and third finger above the scope and the fourth, fifth below. And in this way, I can also rotate the light source. When you're using a 30-degree endoscope, this rotation will change the angle. Here I'm using a 0-degree, so the rotation doesn't really change a lot. And I would suggest for this approach, for the transsphenoid approach, to start with a 0-degree endoscope. So that's one thing, how to hold it. You see how it's balanced, and then the fingers here can control it. The other thing is the location to the camera. Try to use it, think of yourself as having 3 points of reference. One is your endoscope and your hand, the second is the nose, and the third is the camera. So you want, as much as possible, to have these 3 points in one line. In other words, you don't want to operate and look like this, or to look like this, or have an angle between your hand, the nose, and the camera. The same like when you play PlayStation, and you want to have your PlayStation console in front of you and the camera in front, you won't have the endoscope, the head and the camera in one straight line. That makes the way your brain thinks easier when you manipulate the instruments. And number 3 is when you insert the endoscope in the nose, if you try to just hold it in the nose, suspended in the middle of the nose, you will find that it's moving, right? It will not be stable. The way to stabilize it is beyond this one point to have a second anchoring point. And that normally will be the nostril. In other words, you hold it on one hand and you make sure that you anchor it on the nostril. So you insert it and then you push the nostril up, and you see in this way it can become much more stable. So after you have cleaned your nose, the nose of the specimen, always remember that you have to get your instruments first, the endoscope second, instruments in front, and always see the point of your instrument, right? And keep in mind that as you insert your instrument, let me clean it a bit more. Still a bit dirty. Christos. You insert your instrument, you look at the point, and what you will find, okay, this is the inferior turbinate, this is the floor of the nose, this is the right nasal cavity, okay? So use some water to clean the nose, use some suction to take it out, and as you go, try not to have any point of your camera that's overexposed. Like if I'm going very close to the septum, you see it becomes overexposed. If I'm going very close to the inferior turbinate, it becomes overexposed. You want to have the screen in the center, and your instrument always watchable, viewable, right? So you go across the floor of the nose, and you will find here the eustachian tube, hard palate, soft palate, nasopharynx, right? Inferior turbinate. The second pass, you see here, this is the middle turbinate, and you can see here there are some accessory ostia. And can I have a freers? Gently lateralizing, out fracturing the inferior turbinate gives you a lot of space, and it's a movement that you should always do when you do transsphenoid surgery. It's a simple move, and it gives you extra space inferiorly. Then you do the same, gently, inferiorly lateralizing the middle turbinate. You don't want to do this high because there is a risk that you will create a fracture at the lateral lamella. So you gently lateralize it the middle turbinate, and this could well be a bulla, a concha bullosa. You see it's a bit thick. And as you lateralize it, you should visualize the superior turbinate, which is posterior and slightly higher. Can I have the suction? There it is. This is the superior turbinate. Think also that the superior turbinate, it's also the posterior turbinate. It's not only the superior, but it's also the posterior. So inferior turbinate is the anterior turbinate, middle turbinate, and then the superior is also more posterior. This is more for the neurosurgeons. Okay, thank you. Friars, thanks. And as you lateralize it, there, this is the superior turbinate, and the moment you lateralize it, you see you make this movement, the inferior part of the superior turbinate, you will visualize the opening to the sphenoid. Okay? So this is the sphenoid. You must do this in your specimens, identify the sphenoid, and then, I don't want you to do anything more, start raising the flap, right? You know that this is your sphenoid, which means that the pedicle will go just below the opening of the sphenoid. In other words, you have here the face of the sphenoid. This is the superior limit of the pedicle, and the inferior limit will be just above the nasopharynx, somewhere here. Can I have the suction? And for raising there I am in the nasopharynx. So this is the nasopharynx, middle turbinate, superior turbinate, opening of the sphenoid. Okay? Let's see. We can have a sickle knife, maybe. So, making one cut here, the bone. Remember the artery, the septal branch will be running here. So you want to make an incision superiorly. Normally, you would use a monopolar, that's okay, diathermy for this, monopolar needle diathermy. But here we can try to get the pedicle as wide as possible. The main risk is that for the septal flap is that the pedicle becomes avulsed or becomes it ruptures, it gets cut. So you try to get it here, yes, freed, and then you go across this line there. Now you can extend your flap all the way down to the floor of the nose if it's necessary. And you can make the flap much, much wider if you need. So let's see. So also one trick that I heard, and it makes a lot of sense from Shaz, is try, when you want to make your flap, you can try to push it away from you, right? Like this, to free it up. And go horizontally, so one incision will be inferiorly, and the other incision, a rescue flap means that you only take out the superior incision. But here, I think we can, so let's see what we can do here. Here, the bone, as you go superiorly, becomes thinner. So sometimes the moment you cut it, you realize that you have gone through the sphenoid. And then going up, can I have some suction? The superior, the level, so inferiorly, you go down to the floor. Superiorly, you go halfway to the middle turbinate. You don't want to go higher than that because you have the olfactory fibers. But once you get in front of the middle turbinate, you can make a curve and go higher up to the roof of the nose, and then continue all the way anteriorly higher because there are no more olfactory fibers there. So, okay. We said that this is the middle turbinate, right? So halfway will be about here. Sometimes you can see the olfactory fibers, but not always. I know that Rick has identified them, but anyway. try to see if we can cut here. This way. It's sharp, yes. Let's see what we can do. Section. And then we go higher up. Incision. It's very thin, the bone. It's normally harder. We go up, up, up. And this is the cartilaginous part. And you go anteriorly all the way up almost to the nostril, as much anterior as you can. Okay, if you want to start your dissection, I will complete the flap and I will show it when it's complete, okay? Can we switch the microphone off? Να κλείσουμε το μικρόφωνο, να το συνεχίσουμε. Ευχαριστώ. Okay. Κόβεται τελείως, έτσι.
Each person does a flap on each side, yeah?
Yes. Each one of you will do a flap in one side. But let's see. Okay.
Are they supposed to do a right septal flap?
Each one does one side, I think, because they're one head for two people. But let's see how we can save this.
Make a lower incision and you just cut it with
No, it's not. It's not injected. It's not. Let's see.
American heads are there.
Yes. And I think they are in some liquid because they are very friable. The bones are really, really soft. You see the bones are... The moment you do it. Yes. That you only do the superior incision. It's the same flap, just the superior. And you down it, yes. Haddad is also the inferior. Έχουμε ένα κότλι, για να δω λίγο. If... Maybe, let's see. Να καθαρίσω λίγο. Let me clean it a bit. Okay. It's very thin, the bone there, huh?
Very thin.
Well, it's okay. It will come out.
Just raise it from below. Maybe it's easier.
Yes, from...
The bone is thicker.
It's thicker there, true. It is. But it's still not very thick, not thick enough, huh? Even below it's breaking. And let's clean it a bit. How do we focus it? Focus it a bit closer. It is? Yes, yes, yes. But it's very thin, you see, because it's cadaveric specimen, it's very thin. So the moment you want to use this there, yeah, it's much easier in real surgery. But it's okay. It's coming. Not a problem. You just need to take your time. Δώσ' μου το μαχαιράκι λίγο. Thank you. So, it's easier to use this. You see the sickle knife. But the cartilage is really, you see this, eh? It's very thin. Έχουμε ψάλι, we have a scissors. It's coming. Okay. I like this sickle knife because it's sharp. You can do this dissection. Normally you do it with a cottle or something, but here I think this is better. Τέλεια. Thank you. Για να δω. Α, πιο μικρούλι δεν έχει. Από το Καπαμπιάνκα. Έχουμε ένα κότλ. That's okay. It's a bit higher, it doesn't matter. Problem is the upper part. As you can use the scissors there. Έχουμε ένα, Βαλιάνος έχει Καπαμπιάνκα scissors μικρό. Πρέπει να ανοίξει το Καπαμπιάνκα, πες του, μωρέ, να ανοίξουμε λίγο. Γιατί... Να το. Okay. There we are. It's almost no bone behind there. You see this? Yeah, maybe.
It's real thing, yeah.
Yes. There it is. Now. Oh, yeah. Θέλουμε ένα scissors on top. Oh, here it's okay. It's cut. And here. Έχουμε ένα ψαλιδάκι. Scissors. Έχει εδώ ψαλίδι αυτό. Is there a scissors? Thank you. Καπαμπιάνκα, ναι. Ενδοσκοπικό καλά, ενδοσκοπικό ρε Παναγιώτη, εντάξει. Οκ. Δεν έχουμε καπαμπιάνκα σετ. Πρέπει να έχει μικρά ψαλιδάκια. Για κοίτα λίγο. Ναι. Oh. Αυτά έχουμε. Για δώσουμε το ψαλιδάκι που έχουμε λίγο. Ναι, ευχαριστώ. No, okay. Okay. I think that's it. Perfect. Good?
The attached?
Yes. Fine. Okay. Shall I show them or not? Το δείξουμε τώρα. Τι κάνεις? Okay, so this is detached. Maybe we can proceed.
He's learning Greek.
Yes, yes, yes. So, can actually take the flap out on the other side, just to have some reverse flap. Do you use a reverse flap? I never use it.
Yeah, I like it.
Really, it takes too much space.
No.
I don't know.
You will gain also a lot of space. Also more inferiorly.
Oh,
But it takes a little time.
oh, yeah. It's okay. Shall I show them? Just show them a bit what we've done. Και να αρχίσουμε λίγο να βλέπουμε. We can start showing the sphenoid inside. Ναι, ναι, ναι. To do on both sides, so on the right and the left side. Can you see this? We have Blexley or a Kotel first. Ένα Kotel. Ευχαριστώ. So the flap, as you can see, was elevated here on this side, on the right side. So this was the area where the flap was, and try to use the sickle knife. The sickle knife is the best for sharp dissection. And then elevate it all the way to the back, posteriorly, until the face of the sphenoid, okay? And then you push it down. Once you have elevated it, you can push it down at the nasopharynx, like this, out of your way. And here you have the opening of the sphenoid. The bone of the rostrum here is very thin, so you can see both sphenoid opening, right and left. So the next step